नमस्कार, a very good afternoon. कैसे हैं आप? रेडियो करिश्मा पर आपका हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ. This is our live broadcast on Facebook, and right now I am with the author of Interfaith Marriage, Dr. Dilip Amin, with us, and thank you so much, sir, for joining us here. And before we start talking about the topic of today, interfaith marriage, that is, I would like to tell all my listeners that Dr. Amin has the background. He's a cancer research scientist, and right now working. He is a director of one interfaith organization, Multiphase organization based out of San Francisco. Right now, he's touring, doing seminars on interfaith marriage, which is supposed to be a book that he has written, and he is going to be talking about interfaith marriages, as the name says it all. But of course, we are also talking to him for a reason, because he is touring Dallas, and for next 3 days he is going to be doing seminars in 3 different places in Dallas. Today it's at UTD. What time is the?
I believe it's a 7:30 to 8:30.
So 7:30 to 8:30 is at UTD. Tomorrow it happens to be in Tom Muhlenbeck Center in Plano at 3 o'clock to 5:15, and then on Sunday it is at the Shri Ganpati, Lakshmi Ganpati Temple in Plano. We will give you more information on that, of course, and at the same time, before that, I would love to ask few questions to Dr. Dilip Amin, and what we are expecting in this upcoming seminar. And Dr. Amin, interfaith marriages, the moment we say these words, suddenly everybody is alert. Yeah. Because this is something that, everybody is facing. It's the reality of today's modern life. Tell us more about your work into this area and the upcoming seminars that is coming.
I clearly understand why there is an anxiety for interfaith marriages. We all came from India for better life. We work hard. Many of us amassed a lot of money. Also gave a superb education to our children, and many of them also doing really, really well. But all of a sudden, some surprise, they come and tell us that, Mom, I'm in love with Muhammad. Mm-hmm. Dad, I'm in love with Jennifer. Mm-hmm. And the hell freeze loose.
Yes.
And we end up making irrational argument with our sons and daughters, and we end up becoming an enemy of our own son and daughter. So I have worked on this subject since 2006. I have a website that is Interfaith Sadi that I started in 2009. And I have guided 1,200 youths around the world in all kind of combinations. And I have summarized all this in my book, that is Interfaith Marriage, Share and Respect with Equality. Yes. So there is no need to be fearful of interfaith marriage. First of all, I am not for or against interfaith marriage, because I have seen many interfaith marriages going great. Mm-hmm. At the same token, there are many within faith marriages have problems. Yeah. So it's not the which religion. We should not go with that stereotype. Mm-hmm. But we have to know who they marry to.
Yes.
So if you know how to play your cards right, even if it's an interfaith marriage, mm-hmm. it may turn out to your advantage. And that's what I'm going to cover in my presentations. If you spend 1 hour in this presentation, it will work like a vaccine. You took that vaccine once in your lifetime, and then you are covered for life.
Okay.
Most probably it will help prevent interfaith marriage coming to your home, if that is what mm-hmm. you do, play your card rights. Mm-hmm. And even if it happens, then you know how to deal with it and manage the situation.
Absolutely.
To the variable your level.
Okay.
So summarizing, interfaith marriage is not necessarily good or bad, mm-hmm. but you've got to know what it is. Uh-huh. And be prepared for it.
So when we are talking about this seminar, we are basically looking at it through the Hindu perspective.
As much as you
Hindu,
like to
yes.
think of Hindu perspective, our youths who are in colleges, they are so open-minded, so pluralist. As soon as you say, I'm taking at the Hindu point of view, it's going to backfire. So I cannot be partial to one or other faith. It's not fair. So we need to give a message which is right for all.
Correct. So the thing is, Dr. Amin, often it is, it's well known, there are a lot of people, they talk about it as well, that most of the time Hindu youth is very open-minded, broad-minded, and they are the ones who are, they very easily say that we are atheists, we are agnostic, but we don't hear that coming from the other religion more, So that also sometimes you feel that it's a problem in Hindu youth, or how do you see this situation? Because as per, if I take a conservative route here and being a Hindu mother, and if I don't want my daughter or son to marry out of Hindu, then I would say that you can't marry someone from out. But at the same time, my son says that okay, I am an atheist, so he is ready to marry out of the world. But the same thing does not happen in the in the other religion.
Okay.
And the youth, even though they say that we are liberal, we are modern, coming from a Muslim family, but still they cannot say that we are atheist. So that is like, how do we explain that to our kids?
Good. First of all, you are worrying about or thinking Hindu point of view. I'm a director of one Peninsula Multifaith coalition where I work with so many people of other faiths, and all the Christian pastors and priests who are my friends. I see their pain. They are also in the same boat. Their youths have the same problems. They have difficulty bringing them to their churches on Sundays and conveying their message, whatever they want to convey. So this problem, pain you feel, that's universal. Let me remind you, my own survey shows 38% of Hindus married Christian, Jews and Muslim in America. I did a survey and found that 45% of Muslims in America marry outside their faith.
The percentage is more there.
Or same, 45, 38, no big difference. But again, I agree to your point in a way that majority of the Hindu, because we are secular, we are pluralist,
and
we are
don't have
open-minded.
this fundamental of this idea of conversion in us.
Correct. Or so because we are easy to accept the other faith.
Yes.
At least adapt partially or like that. Versus Islam, the message is pretty clear that the other party must convert.
Yes.
So I would say that all those 45% of people who are marrying to 45% of Muslims who are marrying outside, majority, I don't have any numbers, but majority ask the other party to convert to Islam. Why? The difference is in Quran. It's clearly says, Quran 2:21 says that you can only marry to another Muslims. You cannot marry other faiths. At least there is some allowances for people of the book, that is Christians and Jews, but definitely not for Hindus. So there is a different levels of treatment to Hindus versus to Christians and Jews. So that's Quran 2:21. Don't marry. Okay, I truly respect it. That's their scriptures, and they have rights to believe and follow their scriptures. Further, Quran says that if your spouse is not Muslim, then just divorce it, get rid of them. So even if person did not ask you to convert, let's say 10 or 20 years down the road, if that person start believing in Quran, then they will want you to convert or give up your faith. So, okay, I respect that Islamic feeling, they want to follow Quran, but Quran also says, Quran 3:34, that Quran 4:34, that when a boy or a girl sees the person from another faith, they're supposed to lower their gaze and walk away. Meaning, you cannot get in romantic relationships
with the other faith
unless you are married. So if they are not following Quran 4:34, and getting in romantic relationships. And when it times comes to get married, they say, now I'm going to follow Quran 221.
Okay. There's
a
hypocrisy
problem.
there.
There is hypocrisy there.
Correct.
I mean, some people use the word love-Jihad.
Yes.
I mean, what was the intention?
Yes.
Either you are a follower of Quran or you are not a follower of Quran. And if you are a follower of Quran, why you got into love relation to start with?
Yes.
So you're not a Muslim. And if you're not Muslim, why are you asking for conversion?
Correct.
So that's the problem.
So that's where your seminar is going to tackle these problems. This is what we're trying to say through this seminar.
In seminar, I'm going to dissect so many ways these points. First of all, Hindus are, when there is even within faith marriage, Hindu marrying Hindus, there is so much discrimination of Hindus within faith.
Correct.
For example, in my book, I have written an article on Mira versus Margaret. If Margaret came to your home, you will be excited all over, giving her samosa, eat my samosa, and you'll be so joyful. Oh, my Margaret loves my samosa. Let's say instead of Margaret, your daughter-in-law was Mira. And then you will say, Mira, go fry the samosas. And poor Mira went fries it, and then when you eat it, you know, samosas are not good.
You don't know how to cook.
You don't know. तेरी माँ ने सिखाया नहीं है, मैं सिखा दूँगी. What the hell?
Yes.
Going wrong. So there is a clear discrimination. So first we have to change ourselves.
Okay.
We need to be respectful. We need to change what we do in mandirs. We need to change how we deal our children at home, or how we are Hindus. In spite of all those things, suppose you did everything wrong, and then it comes that your son or daughter is in interfaith relationship. I'm also giving you many tips how to make the damage more bearable.
Okay.
So it's going to be multifactorial coverage.
So the lingo that you have been using so far, vaccine, damage, as if it's a problem. It is a problem. It's like a disease, you know. And but why is it a problem? Why is it a disease? So that will be the question that, you know, a lot of Hindus would ask you. In fact, a lot of youth that you're going to speak in UTD in a few hours from now, a lot of youth might ask you that why do you think that interfaith marriage or relationship is a problem? You know?
Okay, let me make a correction.
Yes.
I did not say interfaith marriage is a problem. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
I have a very close friend's daughter. She's a physician, married to a Christian. When physician daughter in Northeast, very cold weather, when she comes back from work and open the door, the mother-in-law takes the blanket 5 minutes before, put it in a dryer, so blanket is nice and warm. And when she comes, as soon as she comes, the mother-in-law would wrap the blanket over her.
Yes.
It's cold, and then she keeps the coffee mug ready. Mega, you drink first coffee and relax 5 minutes and then think other.
Yeah.
Tell me what is wrong with that marriage.
Nothing.
Versus if it was a Hindu mother-in-law, she would make her life hell. So I'm not here
always,
to.
But yeah, I mean, it's a stereotype. Yes.
That's a stereotype. I'm sorry for that is the order.
Yes.
So I'm not for or against interfaith marriage, but again, interfaith marriage problem is not the interfaith marriage. It's not the problem. Is not a particular religion. It's not the problem what it says in somebody's scriptures, but the who you marrying to. That's important.
A person.
A person who is married to. If you don't know, there are 36,000 denominations of Christianity.
Okay.
And even in that denomination, and all of them have different practices. And among all those denominations, even let's say Catholic, there are all kind of people there. So there are no two Christians same, there are no two Muslims same. So your son or daughter is marrying only one person.
Yeah.
And you find it out what that person has learned from the scriptures.
Yes.
And if you know how to play cards right, and I will show you in all those 3 presentations, you can switch these things. If it is a lemon, make a lemonade out of it.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Absolutely. So, in the beginning, you said that the Muslims are, there is a discrimination in Muslim scriptures against Hindus. There's a different law for Christians and Jews. One is law for Hindus, and also Hindus marrying to Christians face different problems.
Yeah, correct.
Vis-a-vis they are marrying to a Muslim. So if you can elaborate a little bit of how it is different than when your son says that I want to marry Shabana versus I want to marry Jennifer.
Correct. You have to know that this Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, how they came about. Earlier they were all Jews. Even Jesus was Jew.
Okay.
He wanted to make changes in the. He did not like certain old practices in Judaism at that time, so he started making many reforms. Like on Sabbath day, if your goat fell in the well, I mean you're not supposed to work. Jesus says no. If it fell in the well, you have to do your karma, take the goat out. I mean, God never said not to save the goat.
Not to save the goat.
So he started making many reforms in that one. So that's why at that time Jewish did not like him. And 320 years down Jesus' birth, so way later on, then Christianity started.
Yes, it's the
in the Nicene Creed 320, 319. So Christianity started. They call Jesus a son of a God. Not a God, but son of a God. Later on came the Islam, that is some 620, where Muhammad started revealing the Quran. And basically in Quran it says that to say that Jesus is a son of a God, that is a Christianity's fundamental. That's a monstrous falsehood.
Okay.
So Quran is in clear disagreement in that respect to this. So the point is, Quran says that they consider the scriptures, Judaism and Bible, are valid scriptures, and they are all people of the book. And then they don't have to convert, but their children has to be still Muslim. Versus Hindu scriptures, Gita and Vedas and all that. No, those are not the book as per Quran or as per some Muslims. Some other Muslims believe that they are also, but that may be minority.
Oh, okay. So that is the difference between. So, but when your child is getting married to a Christian, how different it is than the child is marrying to a Muslim?
No difference.
Hindu, yeah.
A Hindu is marrying to Christian or marrying to Muslim. It's no different.
Okay.
Only difference is what kind of that person is there. If it is a Christian, you just have to ask one question: how are you going to get married?
Okay.
So if they say yes, are we going to have Hindu wedding? If it is a true Christian believing that Hindus are idol worshipper, then they will not want Hindu wedding.
Okay.
And other thing is, if they say yes, we are going to marry in our church, for example, Catholic church, then you will have to sign a prenuptial agreement that our children will be baptized and raised Christians only. And I have covered in my book. For Muslims, I will say majority of the Muslim will want Shahada, because if the Quran says you can marry through, and that's meaning they want to convert you to Islam and then marry. And at the same time, once you are Muslim, you cannot have a Hindu wedding because it's you are already, that's not acceptable. So at the same, there is no imam in this world, as far I know, or at least majority of the imam, they will not perform interfaith marriage, Hindu-Muslim wedding, that is called nikah.
Nikah, okay.
Without conversion.
Without conversion.
So nikah means conversion.
Okay.
And so if you are married to Muslim, just say no, I am not ready to accept Muhammad the way Muhammad and his teaching. I don't buy into it. Let's go in the park and get married. I don't have any problem you being Muslim. And further, we'll make sure that we'll raise children in both the faiths. On Friday, we'll take them to mosque, and Saturday, we'll take them to mandir. You come to mandir, I'll come to your mosque. We'll have interfaith marriage with equality, 50-50.
But then, usually what happens is that if a Hindu is marrying to a Muslim, be it a girl or a boy, in both the cases I've seen, that a Muslim person would say that my side is not agreeing, if you don't convert, I cannot marry you. And most of the time I have seen the Hindus, giving up basically.
Very true.
So, because of the pressure from the other side.
Correct.
So, how do you proceed in that case? Your situation, what you're saying is an ideal situation in the world. And we know the world is not ideal,
I know.
The reality is something else,
Let me rephrase what you say, and it's very important. Muslim will insist on that Hindu must convert to Islam.
Yeah.
Why? Because the whole Islamic community, their ummah, they are really want to make sure that Hindu has it converted or not.
Yes.
That is tremendous pressure. On Hindu side, nobody knows. Most of the time, Hindu parents and the child, they are handling all situations within themselves. Community find out only later on. But that was past. That was the past in the history. Before they read my book, and before they attended my seminar. You attend my seminar, you will be convinced you have to just learn one thing. No BBS, and your problems are solved. It's that simple.
Elaborate on that. Yes.
B for baptism, B for bris. So bris is a Jewish religious ceremony on the 8th day, circumcision ceremony on the 8th day of the child's birth.
Okay.
And from that onward, once that is done, they believe that its child is now. That is the. If it is not done, something bad is going to happen. Some superstition.
Okay.
So once that is done, that's a Jewish child, and later on they will have a bar mitzvah and bet mitzvah at age 11, 12. So that's their labeling. I use the word labeling as a Hindu perspective. For them, it's a very respectable ritual. So I am not here to offend it, but Hindus may think it that way. Baptism, you know that we are all, actually, according to Christianity, we are all sinners, including Mahatma Gandhi.
Yes.
And the day you take a dip in that water in baptism, we dip, you are purified. So, as per some Christians, Mahatma Gandhi will go to hell because he was never baptized.
Correct.
And for Islam side, it's a Shahadat. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, meaning there is only one God, which we agree. Hinduism also says there is only one God. But the second point I have problem with that Muhammad is its apostle and the last apostle. Well, I believe in one God. I call it Krishna.
Yeah.
Why are you bringing in Muhammad?
Yeah.
I mean,
we believe in one God who can have multiple names, different names. You can call him Muhammad, I can call it Krishna, I can call it Shiva, but then no offense, you can do the way, but it's not the case with them, For them, even you have to say that Muhammad is
on my website, it's an open forum, Interfaith Shadi. Muslim comes on and they says ours is the best faith. I say I want to convert to Islam today.
Yes.
I want to convert to Islam. I say I will perform namaz 5 times a day.
Yeah.
I will eat all those halal food. I will start eating whatever you eat, and I will be better Muslim than anybody else. Except I have one condition. In my life, I will not utter the word Muhammad.
Okay.
I want to be Muslim. They will walk away.
Okay.
It is important for them that you accept Muhammad as a final apostle.
Yes.
Now I'm willing to accept the God. I'm willing to accept Allah and willing to follow it. So that's what I have problem in converting. If that point is removed, if that can be removed, I'm ready to be Muslim.
So how do you convince youth about this? Because a lot of youth being, especially Hindus, they don't realize this, but when they talk very intelligently, it is coming from the Hindu upbringing, the ethos that we are grown into, They have never seen the rigid side of any religion, because this is not what Hinduism is. We are liberal from the word go, that we accepted that, you are on this, you're a human creature, this whole world is our abode, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, and everybody is free to live the way they want to live, We do have set guidelines and we follow it, we follow karma and dharma. But the same child, when he grows up and he suddenly says, okay, I'm not Hindu, I'm an atheist, although it is coming from the same upbringing, consciously, subconsciously. But then that it so happens that that intelligent atheist kid is so vulnerable to get attracted towards conversion, you know. How do you explain this to the youth when in your seminar? Because they would ask you so many questions that, you know, okay, I will not convert, big deal, you know, this doesn't happen in the real world. Then how do you convince them, you know, in a modern way, you know?
Let me first clarify one point you made. You made Hinduism looking nice and rosy. We are wonderful.
Okay.
In my book, I have a section, Gita on Abrahamic. Even Lord Krishna says that you pray to any god, ultimately it's going to come to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So your Christian in-law sitting there, and he says, wait, I pray to Jesus, not to Jesus. Krishna is not going to go to Krishna, it's going to go to my the Father God.
Yes.
Same thing Muslim will say. So exclusivity, more or less level, is there in all faiths.
All faiths, okay.
So that's why I'm saying it's who you marrying to, how much exclusivity the party is bringing. Okay, to your points that why not to convert or how to convince our youths who are pluralists, atheists, and all that. I tell the youths, beautiful, I'm proud of you, whatever you believe in, and keep on believing in.
Yes.
Except, now you are open-minded, pluralist, don't marry somebody who is the exclusivist, supremacist ideology. Don't accept their ideology.
Correct.
Teach the other party to be open-minded, pluralist. And that's why the title of my book, Share Two Faiths. One day take them to Friday mosque and Saturday take them to the Hindu temple. And do whatever they do in mosque and bring your spouse also to the Hindu temple. Share in true respect. Other thing is respect. Truly respect the way the faiths are. And equality. 50-50. Don't demand 51%, nor ready to settle for 49%.
Okay.
If you stick with this principle and tell your son or daughter, they will say, yeah, mom, I agree, which is very logical. So whenever they bring up some exclusivist, supremacist ideology, they will not accept this one. It is not acceptable.
As I said, this is an ideal world you're talking about.
Right.
In reality, is something else. Then how do you convince kids that that what are the repercussions when they get into something this, conversions and all?
I tell in my presentations that don't fake convert. If you want to change to other faith, study that faith along with 5 other faiths and make it your smart people, highly educated. See what are the pluses, minus, why you want to convert, but don't fake it.
Yes.
Because if you make your marriage foundation based on lies and deception, you're going to have a trouble later on. You know, in America, 60% of, I don't know what percent, majority of marriages ends in divorce.
Yeah.
Let's say you fake converted, you agreed for this brace baptism, Sahadat Sunnah. So technically your children will be from other faith. And 10 years down the road you have 2-3 children and there is a divorce, severe divorce. Both the lawyers are fighting for the children's custody.
Correct.
Hindu side will not get, first of all that side is not Hindu because you agreed that for other faith anyway.
Yeah.
So you will not have a chance in court in spite of spending thousands of dollars for lawyers for the child custody.
If you are converted into Muslim?
If you, let's say
Islam?
you had, if you converted Islam, then both are Muslims. And then later on when you have a divorce, and let's say you want to bring your daughter to Diwali party and all that, the other party will put a stay order on you that that child is a Muslim child by 2 Muslim parents. And now this party has changed it back to Hinduism, and
which is not allowed.
Which is American court neutral judge will not approve it.
Oh, okay. So there are legal repercussions of
severe legal repercussions.
Okay.
And that's something. And I asked them, what you have to gain from this BBS? There is nothing you have to gain other than your weakness to speak out. Other than your weakness to speak out for the truth. You don't have a daring. So why don't you show your
courage?
And
Yeah.
I'm talking about sharing and respecting equality.
Why convert?
Why convert?
Really, why?
Let me give you another example. President Barack Obama. His father was Muslim, mother was Christian. Parents decided children to not put that religious label that now he's a Muslim.
Yeah.
Now think, if his father
Had put a
put
stamp.
a stamp on him that he's a Muslim, and this Muslim guy goes that vote for me, I want
He
to be
would
president,
never.
he would not.
Never.
You agree?
Yes.
So same thing I'm telling you. You are atheist, understood. Agnostic, pluralist, agree. But why you want to limit your child to some odd-shaped box that children fix in this box? Instead of why not let your children at their age 22 decide their own faith? They may want to be Buddhist. They may want to be Jewish.
Correct.
They may want to be atheist.
Yeah.
So give the option open to your children
Okay.
for what faith
And for
they want to
yourself
follow.
as well. I mean,
Correct.
not always just about children, it's about you being you as well. Suppose, under peer pressure, you decide that, okay, I am in love and, I will satisfy my partner and I will become for the sake of it. But then, as you said, that suppose 10 years down the line, there is the picture is not as rosy and then you want divorce and then suddenly you've lost it. And as we all know nowadays, we see a lot of ghar wapsi happening in Hinduism, but originally we don't convert or reconvert, right?
Okay, Islam, you have to understand. Once somebody, it's in one of the Bukhari, says, somebody asked Muhammad that what if Muslim convert to outside Islam? Muhammad says, kill them.
Yeah.
So Islam, to go and if you accepted the Shahadat, and then you next day or whenever 10 years, 20 years down the road, you say, I'm no more Muslim.
Yeah, you can't do that.
It's an on-off switch. It was on, I'm turning it
Yes,
off. No,
yes.
your life is in trouble.
Life is in trouble.
So you have to think twice before or 100 times before you
Yes.
convert to any faith.
So this is about multi-faith. Of course, we do see there is a lot of, a lot of ruckus about it. There is a lot of, there is one section in Hindu society which is like totally against interfaith marriages. They usually see this as that somebody has put a conspiracy behind, and that's where the term love-Jihad, which is to a certain extent is true, but how they have a problem, suppose, with your book, because your book is saying that it's okay to have an interfaith marriage, till the time you have equality and everything. How do you face that opposition?
Good.
Because they are, it happened here as well, because, we saw that a lot of Hindus saying that, but you are supporting interfaith marriage. If it's a problem, then why support it?
Yeah. Okay, let me correct it. I am not supporting interfaith marriage.
Okay.
Nor I am here to promote within faith marriage.
Okay.
What I am saying is you make an informed decision. Think of all your options. Understand what the Christian, Jews and Muslim are all about. And that's what basically I'm trying to say, go to cover in seminars. How we need to change our own self. For example, be the kind of husband that your daughter is looking to.
Yes.
So your daughter, 8 years daughter, she's sitting on a sofa and you are sitting across it. And if you tell your wife, can you go get pani, mere liye pani leke aao na? So she stands up, go get the water for you. Right away, that 8 years old daughter sitting there, she will make up my mind that I'm not going to marry the jerk, my father type.
No,
jerk.
not exactly. But the thing is that she would get the message that aise hi hota hai shaadi mein.
That's it.
Ki wife has to get up.
And she's not going to
and
put up
get-
with these things.
Yeah, but with the changing times, when she grows up and she says that,
So what
it's
I'm
not
saying
right. Yeah.
is treat your wife
The way you want your daughter to be treated.
treated.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Start it from home.
Yes.
For example, cleaning dishes.
Yes.
That's not only wife's job. You do it every day.
Correct.
So we have to start changes from very first day the child is born till how you, if you have a wonderful, happy marriage, you are treating your wife really wonderfully. I mean, your daughter will follow your footsteps.
Yes.
So there are so many steps there. But at the same token, even if you have not done all those things, and still your daughter, you did not follow Hinduism, you did not do well in your, and still your daughter comes and tell you that I want to marry Muhammad or Jennifer or whatever. That's what my book is about. Even if you fail to do what you're supposed to do, now what to do? So what I'm doing is a sort of a band-aid. That is a deep, but this is only a band-aid.
Yeah.
Ideally you should do all from birth of the child,
yes.
so that cut doesn't come to begin with.
Oh, okay.
So that's my point.
Yes. So also, as you just mentioned, that we have a lot of problems within faith marriages, which is kind of becoming like a menace, and especially in abroad. A lot of NRI Hindu women are facing domestic violence. The divorce rates are going high. And there are some really ugly cases which we thought that only happens in interior India and uneducated. But we are seeing professionals in IT, they come here and they treat their wives badly. So what do you have to say that what is happening in the marriage within faith? How important it is that before we look out, we look within. And
it's very true.
Yeah.
Let me first clarify. We are not here to say that there are a lot of issues in Hindu marriages. There are issues there in all kinds of marriages. Only we know issues within faith.
Yeah.
So we are not against saying that there are problems within faith marriages.
Yeah.
Other thing, I have seen so many within faith divorces. For example, my niece had 2 within faith divorces by age 31. 2, not 1.
Okay.
My other niece also had her divorce at age maybe 25, 30 or early age. In all those 3 cases, the issue was dealing with in-laws. The in-laws, I don't know, they just roll up their sleeves to like an enemy came and they want to really control that new wife. I mean, poor 20, 25 years old person, treat like your own daughter.
Yeah.
And then you will not have problems. So problems are there within faith, problems are there within interfaith. You have to think through all those in your situation. But at least in interfaith situation, I would say that conversion is not an option. Should not be an option unless you truly start liking that scriptures versus any other scriptures in the world.
So what you're trying to say that, if you want to convert or you want to get married to a different faith and you want to convert into that faith, the first truly, 100% about that faith before you make that decision of your life. It should not be for the sake of it, maybe. And how do we face and how do we come out from that pressure that some of the people, youth, they are into that situation where they are forced to convert so that they can marry, just because the other side, the in-laws, they are a Muslim lover, and his parents say, well, you can't marry a non-Muslim girl, so the girl has to convert. So how do you face those problems, and how do you come up as a winner? What is your ideal stance? What should you be doing? That's exactly what this seminar is going to tackle, and you will get all the tips and of course the remedies of how to face those problems, and which are like inevitable. It's going to happen. We may like it, we may not like it, but that is the reality, that interfaith marriages are the norm and is going to grow with coming years.
No doubt.
But this is what you're trying to do in these seminars. You would like to give your last message here on this broadcast to all our listeners?
I'm married for 40 years, and believe me that marriage time love doesn't last more than 6 months. So don't make your decisions based on your love. Use your head also. You study through all those issues. I have plenty of videos and articles on YouTube. Go watch them if you are in that relationship. Come call me up. It's all free work. I will help you out, steer through your situations. It's on my website. It's very simple. You don't have to get scared. Your son or daughter is in love with a Muslim, no problem. I will tell you how to handle the situations, and you may turn out into win-win situation. So, same for Christians, if it is same for Muslims, same for Judaism, or even within faith marriage. So, best option is no BBS. That's the message I'm giving you. You have to make sure who you marry to. Make sure that person is not a religious fanatic. Otherwise, you have deep trouble waiting for you. Namaste. Best wishes.